Welcome back. This is Coach Perry, and as we've talked about in the past, we're going to talk further about real estate today. And we got a special guest. We got a gentleman named C.O. Ritchie with us. Welcome back. This is Coach Perry, and as we've talked about in the past, we're going to talk further about real estate today. And we got a special guest. We got a gentleman named C.O. Ritchie with us. And what we're going to talk about is a lesson he learned in investing and how he worked for a company for a long time and was missing the boat and how he wanted to get that message to younger people. So, C.O., welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And
good morning, Perry.
You worked with us on an investment in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yes.
You did our land banking process. Talk first about that. How did the land banking process, from your vision, how did it work?
It was a lot simpler than I was trying to make it to be.
Okay.
Basically, the land was the lot number was presented to us.
Mm-hmm.
We were told dollar amount.
Mm-hmm.
It's here. Everything was explained to us. My wife and I talked about it and said we want to do this.
And then we took it from there and got with the title company. We handled all the closing, all the financing. So, C.O., you invested in our project in Baton Rouge, Louisiana with Nick Martell, our builder there, and you did the land bank process. So tell everyone kind of how that worked and how we brought it to you and so forth.
Well, actually, it was a lot simpler than I was trying to make it to be. Y'all made your presentation. My wife and I discussed it and decided this is something we wanted to do. We liked the numbers. We liked everything about it. It was a lot better than what we were getting from any other financial institution. And basically it was just the forms were sent to us. We e-signed them, returned them, and then wire transferred the money and waited for the more paperwork to come in.
Okay, and we pretty much handled everything for you, correct? We set up the paperwork. We worked with the title company. We took care of the wire transfers with you. We sent you pictures of the lots. We showed you the asset you were purchasing. And that's why people like it. Did it make you feel better knowing that you had a physical asset you were investing in?
Yes, it's real. I can go over there and touch it if I want to.
Absolutely.
I can see it. I can feel it. I can lay down and roll around on it if I want to.
I call that the dirt angel, by the way. We do that often, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to make a point that in this particular case, you own that lot. It's in your name.
Correct.
Now,
yes.
That way you've got a firm asset there. Now, we do have an agreement with the builder because just as we talked about in the previous video, the goal of that land banking process is so that builder knows where he's going next. In essence, you're securing his future.
Correct. And it also, when you buy something and, well, I'm going to sell this someday and I'm going to make a profit if somebody wants to buy it. This is done. Okay.
It's guaranteed.
It's guaranteed.
Right.
I know what I bought it for. I know what I'm going to sell it for. It's done.
And we gave you a timeline, and what we said was 12 months, but the anticipation is, especially with everything happening in Baton Rouge currently with the hurricane and so forth, that timeline is somewhat shortened. We were fortunate too, and I know you called me soon after the hurricane. The lot that you purchased was a finished lot. It's completely done. No trees on it. Nothing had to be knocked down by the hurricane. It was already clear, so your asset is protected. But what has happened is now, because of the market changing, with the need now for additional housing, the market becomes more valuable.
Which means I'm going to make my money faster so that I can reinvest quicker.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. 100%. That's something we'll talk about in another video at a future date, but you can take that profit, you can roll it over through a 1031 exchange. You don't have to pay the capital gains taxes on it.
Which is what I'm pretty sure we're planning on doing.
And it's interesting that we should bridge to that point, because when I was discussing this with you, you mentioned that you had worked in an industry for a long period of time. And one of your comments to me was, I wish I would have learned this sooner. So tell the younger people out there, obviously you and I have some age on us, tell the younger folks out there what you wish you would have learned when you were in your 30s.
I was raised by parents who grew up in the Depression.
Okay.
You get an education, you go to work, and you work for a company for 40 or 50 years, and then you retire and live happily ever after.
The old days, as we call that.
And I was always taught work hard and work smart, but things change. Industries change, times change.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in 4 separate industries. One thing I learned, though, is that the money that I was making, and my wife was working, and the money that we were making was supporting our family and buying everything we needed to live on. And we were blessed at that time.
Yep.
And we were blessed. I am not complaining. And then one day we woke up and said, but the money we have accumulated, the wealth that we've accumulated, came from the sale of real estate.
And probably at that point was your own home. You were selling
Our
your own
home, things we'd inherited. Okay, but it was things that we were selling and making a profit on.
Gotcha.
Okay? And I'm not complaining about working every day and all that.
Sure.
But the money that we had accumulated that was worth more than our 401ks and all that was what from the sale of real estate.
Exactly.
And that's when I started realizing, okay, maybe I haven't been working as smart as I could have over the last 4 decades.
So if you were to give a young person advice, someone that's just getting started in their industry, just getting started in the business, and maybe they don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest, but they want to get involved in real estate, what would be your advice?
One, usually the most expensive investment a person makes, a couple makes, is their home. Perry, one of the things I've noticed over years is the largest investment most people make is their home.
Absolutely.
And we need to quit looking at a home as something that I'm going to buy and make 30 years worth of payments on and then live there for the rest of my life. We need to look at it as that is our largest investment for most people. It's their largest investment. And what you need to do is once a month, get out and walk around that investment.
Mm-hmm.
And does it need a new fence?
Mm-hmm.
Are birds building nests up in the eaves?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to take care of that investment. In real estate, one of the things I've noticed is you can walk into a house that's 30, 40 years old. It's like a time capsule.
Yeah.
Some houses do still have the avocado green fixtures.
I've seen them recently.
I know, man.
Yeah.
And they're coming back, too.
Yeah.
But these are the old ones. These are the original
that
ones.
bell-bottom jeans, right?
Yeah. No. And it's an investment. You need to keep that investment going. You need to make the necessary changes to protect your investment. Mm-hmm. If that means, every 4, 5, 6 years, okay, we're going to redo a bathroom and update it. Mm-hmm. We're going to redo the kitchen and update it. We're going to do some landscaping. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. It can be sweat equity as far as landscaping goes. But you need to do something to keep the value of that investment increasing.
And just as your family evolves and you add children or you have children go to college or you have a parent move back in with you, that investment then can evolve to fit that family. Or you can sell that home and purchase a new investment and move forward like that. And in another video, we're going to talk about how in today's market especially, the appreciation rate is so great that you may be sitting on a whirlwind of capital that you're not aware of, and you can take advantage of that. And we'll educate our listeners and the people watching how they can do that. So we're going to talk about that in another video.
And let me tell you something I did, because when I realized the value of my investment of my home, we bought our home almost 2 years ago, and we took a lot of pictures of it when we first bought it with our digital cameras that also make cell phone calls. And I ended up taking a picture of the front of our house and putting it in my file cabinet with all my other investments to remind me that's an investment.
Absolutely.
That's just as important as my retirement, as my, our Roths or whatever, our other investments. That's an investment. We need to treat it as such. We need to get past this where I bought this house, I'm going to die in this house.
Yeah, that's not the case anymore. No. And so to kind of wrap all this up, I guess one of the main things we want to discuss with you today was the simple fact, as you've already stated, real estate is an investment. Yes. And you wish that you would have discovered that 30 years earlier than you did.
Yes.
And you've been able to build some wealth. And that's what we're helping you do now with the land bank investments, with the lots. And you're doing it initially in Baton Rouge. We may do it in other venues, other areas around the state of Texas and so forth.
And I'm on board when you do them.
Perfect. Well, perfect. Because that's one of the biggest challenges we have is as the market continues to grow and we sell that lot, we've got to take that money and 1031 exchange, roll it over to the next place. So we don't want you to have to incur the taxes on that. So we'll help you with that.
But what else do you have to offer in that you can guarantee me my return on the front end of this deal, and it's a tangible product?
That doesn't happen on Wall Street, does it?
No, sir.
Not at all. Well, good. Well, listen to everyone that's here today. We're going to be teaching you more. We're going to be educating you more in the future on real estate investments. Don't forget to like our show on YouTube and subscribe and share it with other people that may want to learn from it. And you'll be hearing more from CEO Richie in the future because we have other ideas to discuss with him and other parts of his business he's going to share with us. So thank you for viewing in today. Welcome back. This is Coach Perry, and as we've talked about in the past, we're going to talk further about real estate today. And we got a special guest. We got a gentleman named CEO Richie with us.